Good morning, everybody. In the interest of time, I know many of you have many things to do today on your busy schedule. We'd like to get started. First, if I haven't had the privilege of meeting you, my name is Stan Carasosa, Superintendent President for College of the Sequoias, and on behalf of our district administration and the COS Board of Trustees, it's my pleasure to welcome you here this morning to what we think is a pretty momentous occasion. A beautiful day, a sunny day. I'd like to acknowledge some key people. No need to applause as we go through the list, but I did want to make sure that we mentioned all of these folks, and then at the end I would like to acknowledge them. Many of them taking the time to be here today. It means a great deal to us for that to be happening. First, I'd like to recognize the College of the Sequoias Board of Trustees, our President Lori Cardoza, our Vice President John Zumwalt, Clerk Earl Mann, and board members Ken Nunes and board member Greg Sherman. I'd like to, even though they're not here today, acknowledge some of our federal and state elected officials who have been incredibly supportive of this project throughout its duration. Congressman Devin Nunes, a special thank you to him, our State Assemblywoman Connie Conway, and State Senate Representative Gene Fuller. From our Tulare County Board of Supervisors, our Chairman Pete Vanderpool, Board of Supervisor members Phil Cox, Alan Nishida, Steve Worthley, and Mike Ennis. From our Tulare City Council, our mayor is here today, Dave Macedo, Vice Mayor Greg Vevada, Council members Skip Barwick, Council member Shay Gowan, and Council member Carlton Jones. I'd like to thank our city manager for the city of Tulare, Don Dorman. From Tulare County Superintendent, or Tulare County Board of Education and Tulare County Office of Education, our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Jim Vidak. Tulare County Joint Union High School District has representatives here today. I'd like to acknowledge the Board President, Frank Fernandez, Vice President Craig Hamilton, Clerk of the Board, Laura Fonseca, Board members Steve Leslie and Board member Kathy Medeiros. And I'd like to acknowledge our Tulare Joint Union High School District Superintendent, Dr. Sarah Kaligian. A project like this is years in the making. Many, many joint meetings, conceptual planning, architectural design phase, finance planning and securing the funding, the state approval process, construction planning and construction management, the actual construction, and then the planning for staffing and for maintenance and for the operations, and then finally for a grand opening as we celebrate here today. Often a process that takes 10 years or more. So in acknowledgement of those special folks who were a part of this from the very beginning, I'd like to offer a couple special thank yous. Past officials who played a significant role in advancing this project during their tenure in their respective organizations include past COS Board of Trustee members Sue Shannon and Bob Line, past COS Superintendent President Dr. Bill Stroggins, our past Tulare Joint Union High School District and City of Tulare elected officials, and in particular, Superintendent Gerald Benton, and who was a part of this from the very beginning. Perhaps most importantly, the citizens of the Tulare service area who voted in support of Measure J General Obligation Bond, which provides the local source of funding to leverage our state matching funds for the construction of this beautiful institution. I'd like to acknowledge our COS senior management team who's been involved in preparing now for the full implementation of what we call our soft opening. First, I'd like to acknowledge the first COS Tulare College Campus Provost, Dr. Larry Dudo, our Dean of Facilities, Eric Middlestead, Vice President of Administrative Services, Mr. Brent Calvin, Vice President of Student Services, Ms. Frances Gisman, and Vice President of Academic Services, Dr. Jennifer Vega Lacerna. I'd like to acknowledge our Dean of Human Resources, John Bratch, our Provost at the COS Hanford campus, Dr. Kristen Hollabaugh, and all of the COS support staff, technology, custodial, maintenance, and clerical folks who have helped us get ready for today. We'd like to acknowledge the architect for this project who's been our partner from the very beginning, NTD Architect, and representatives who are here today, Jay Tittle, Shoji Takashima, our Visalia office representatives, Jack Giles and Michelle Spear. I'd like to acknowledge the COS Foundation for their support throughout this project and their preparation in particular for this morning's ceremonial event. Opening the COS Tulare College campus completes the vision created over a decade ago to grow COS into a multi-campus college. This goal was to increase access for higher education and technical skill development throughout the college district. We knew that if we reached out to the edges of our district and made services available to our students closer to their homes, we would increase our capacity to serve the entire district. We now serve over 1,800 students on our COS Hanford campus, some 10,000 students on the Visalia campus, and our current registration records show that over 1,200 students will arrive here on Monday. Each campus provides a full range of academic transfer courses for college or university and will feature at least one signature program in career technical training. Our Visalia campus has long been recognized for the outstanding health occupations area and state-recognized nursing program. Our Hanford campus is our center for public safety and home to our highly successful Police Academy program and our fire safety certification. And our Tulare campus center will be home to our agricultural program, industrial technology, and award-winning architectural design program. As the relative newcomer to this incredible accomplishment, I can only say thank you for the opportunity to be serving COS at such an exciting time. And while this particular senior management team were not all part of the inception of this project, I want to commit to you that we are all 100% committed to successfully carrying the torch as we implement, refine, and expand this institution for our future. It's my privilege now to introduce the first provost of the Tulare College campus, who will come up and give us some of the detailed information about the campus itself. And I'd like to welcome to the podium Dr. Larry Duda.
Pretty impressive, huh? Welcome to the Tulare College Center. Today marks another milestone in the long history of College of Sequoias. It has been instrumental in bringing higher education to the residents of Tulare, Kings, and Fresno counties since 1926. Nearly 30 years ago, the COS Board of Trustees envisioned a new campus to better serve the residents of southern Tulare County. That vision becomes a reality today as we open over 165,000 square feet of instructional facilities on this 500-acre campus. It's hard to believe that we stood right here on July 8th of 2010 and we did our groundbreaking. So it's really an outstanding accomplishment to build this kind of a facility in only 2.5 years. As of this morning, we have 1,786 seats filled with over 200 students already on the waiting list with over 1,300 unduplicated head count. So much for a soft opening. Those students will arrive here on Monday, January 14th. And as you can see out behind me, the buses have already been running since Monday. So we have a whole new transit system connecting Porterville, all the Tulare communities in Visalia, so students can come here by TCAT or some other mode of public transportation. When they arrive here on Monday, we will have over 40 full-time and adjunct faculty members teaching 81 sections of agriculture, architecture, drafting, graphic design, aeronautics, math, English, social, and regular science classes. These students will also receive a full complement of student services in Building A, which will be your first stop on your tour today. My purpose is to give you a brief itinerary of today's activities. At the conclusion of the ribbon cutting ceremonies, we invite you to participate in a self-guided tour of this new campus. We have maps for you to follow inside of the Building A. In Building A, you'll find refreshments provided by NTD Architects, who are the architects for this beautiful campus. Vice President Francis Gussman and Dean Tamara Ravlin will be happy to show you the facilities and services on the first floor that will be available to students actually starting today. You will also be able to visit our combination bookstore and food service facilities under the direction of Joe Roque and Doriana Mendieta. You can purchase a commemorative sweatshirt. So 100 years from today, you can show them, hey, I bought this sweatshirt with the new COS logo on it. And one of the early folks that were here early this morning, Mrs. Administrator, who was born, I think, in 1919. And her son taught me PE at Tulare Union High School. So I never got out of the lowest group, though. We would ask that you take the elevator or stairs to the second floor of Building A to visit the library, which is on the east end, under the supervision of Amy Andrus, our Director of Learning Service Resources. You have a beautiful view of the mountains or the ocean, and you might be able to see Russia from up there as well. You can then walk across from the buildings, across the crossway here, into Building B. You will be greeted by Dr. Yurtecho, our Dean of Math and Science and Social Sciences, to see all the wonderful high-tech agriculture, biology, and physical science laboratories. We have committed $3.5 million just in equipment and furniture for this facility. You then can proceed downstairs to the Vet Tech Laboratory, and then to our award-winning architecture program, graphic design, where Rolando Gonzalez, our instructor, will be there to greet you and show you all the great work he's already done over the last month. You then can proceed out the east end of Building B and go south into Building C. Building C, you'll be greeted by Frank Tebow, Randy Emery, and Bill Stewart, who will be there to show you the 12,000 square foot state-of-the-art welding and manufacturing and ag mechanics facility, which is probably the biggest shop of the 112 community colleges in this state. We're moving from a 1,500 square foot shop to a 12,000 square foot shop. You will then exit Building C on the west end, and like in the 1940s, COS was instrumental in assisting veterans with getting an education after serving in the war. In fact, on the Visalia campus, the college provided housing for GIs in apartments called Tartarsville. We still provide those benefits to our veterans today. Just outside of Building C, you will see 2 helicopters used in our training of students to become pilots. COS partners with Ron Overacker of Blue Sky Aviation, and we now have 12 helicopters and train over 50 pilots each year as part of the GI Bill program. Stop by and say hello to these veterans and thank them for proudly serving our country. At the end of Building B, Jim Hoyer will greet you with a people mover. That people mover you can get on, and that people mover will take you from Building C around to the horticulture unit. Jim Hoyer will be doing that for the rest of today, so you can take your time. You can get off at each of the stops, walk around, and then pick that back up to return to the parking lot. When you're out in the OH unit, this unit had a lot of industry input, and Fernando Fernandez, our OH and Ag Division chair, will show you around that facility. The people mover will then move you down to the animal science and technology area, which is located on the south part of the campus. Kim Pidliano will be down there with her equestrian team, and we moved horses yesterday. So that facility is not completely finished yet, so we want to have you use a little patience, but you can walk around and you can see the equine barn, the pavilion, the AI facility, and the beef, sheep, swine, and dairy facilities for this campus. The people mover will be going around the campus all day till 4 o'clock this afternoon. And again, the people at COS want to thank you, the residents of Tulare County, for your support in building this facility. It is here for you to use, and hopefully someday This will be the University of Tulare as part of College of Sequoias. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dudo. If you've been on the Visalia campus before, and most of you have, you'll note that the work that we had NTD do for us in the architectural design of this was to match that original campus theme and style. So much of the same architectural design is in place here, and we're so pleased that many of you have noticed that. That was a deliberate decision on our part to tie our campuses together. Speaking of our campuses now, this time I'd like to introduce the president of the College of the Sequoias Board of Trustees. It's my honor today to be able to do that. Lori Cardoza is not only the current president for the College of the Sequoias Board of Trustees, but a little known fact perhaps is that she's the first ever elected female president of the College of the Sequoias Board of Trustees. And she also is one of our Board of Trustee representatives who happens to reside in Tulare. So what a wonderful opportunity for her to be presiding as president, the first female president of the Board of Trustees from her home city, while the college has the opportunity to open a campus in her home city. Please welcome our president, Lori Cardoza.
I'm also an alumni of COS, so this is a proud day for me. I've been involved with the college since I was a student there. I was an adjunct teacher. I've served on the advisory committee, and this day's been talked about for years. And just so all of you know how supportive my board is of how we all support each other, as I got here today, my two former presidents said, "Oh, we're so happy we didn't have to write the speech." So just so you know, we all support each other really well. Well, good morning and welcome again. 4 years ago, we celebrated the passage of Measure J, and 2.5 years ago, we stood at this very location, as Larry mentioned, for the groundbreaking ceremony, and we all tried to imagine what this new center would look like and how much it would impact our community. I felt, as I'm sure many of you did, a great sense of anticipation, excitement, and great pride to belong to a community that values its students and education. These past 2.5 years of construction are now added to a timeline that represents years of vision, years of determination, planning, strategizing, and working together as a college and a community to make this dream a reality. Today we add a very significant event to the COS timeline. These are extraordinary and challenging times, not just for the college, but for our country as a whole. We see the statistics every day. We read about it, we see it on TV, the economy, budget cuts, unemployment rates, the number of jobs that need to be created to get our economy back on track. And we are told there's a growing skills gap and that 2/3 of all jobs will soon require a post-secondary credential. This Tulare College Center is just one of the many ways that our community is contributing to the long-term solution of some very challenging times. By valuing education and providing the opportunities for students to excel and become productive citizens of our society. Yes, it is true that we are having to do more with less, but the college is meeting these demands and looking at the challenges as opportunities to be more creative with the resources we have. There are many people, as Stan has already mentioned, who contributed to making this center. Past and current administrators and staff, our Measure J Bond Committee, our Oversight Committee, our construction people, architects, advisors, foundation board members, past board members. To each and every one of you, on behalf of the current Board of Trustees, I want to thank you. And on behalf of the students who will walk through these doors on Monday, I thank you. Next Monday, these buildings will be filled with students and the opportunities that await them. I am confident that COS is equipped with a motivated and highly qualified staff and administration who will provide the leadership, management, and instruction to make this college center a success. So today, let us be thankful for what our community has built, hopeful that our college will continue to provide quality education and opportunities to all the students in our district. And on behalf of the current Board of Trustees, I'd like to express a message of gratitude and a warm welcome to all of you.
And finally, we'd like to emphasize the strength of the partnership in this project between the College of the Sequoias and the City of Tulare, and we'd like to bring to the podium our current mayor for the City of Tulare, Dave Macedo.
Thank you very much, and I will be very brief. Lori, I did think you were going to do your presentation in Portuguese. However, I'm quite disappointed. I too was an alumni of COS back in the late 70s, early 80s. So this is a great day for me, but it is really a great day for the city of Tulare and the citizens of Tulare County, as has been said time and time again. Now, you won't hear a prepared speech from me, and those of you that know me know that. But there are a few things I would like to talk about. Most of it is what I see. And Craig David is out in the crowd. And I'm going to talk about two things. First, the COS campus and grade separations. When we first got elected many years ago, both pipe dreams, they said would never happen. In the last year, we have opened both. And what a great day for the citizens of Tulare. And it's a tribute to the citizens of Tulare and Tulare County, because we are a can-do county, a can-do city. I've told people time and time again, you can never imagine what the citizens of Tulare are able to accomplish when you give them a goal and they think it has a value. They will roll up their sleeves and go to work for you. We should be very, very proud to live in a community that's like that, because they are not all like that. In many communities, they may even work against each other, but we do not. We got this done. One of the things, and Stan, I'm sorry, but I'm one of these guys who listens and just kind of makes comments about things I hear. You said key people when you introduced us, and you know, we're the lucky people that were elected by the citizens that I believe are the key people. And in this case, maybe the key people here today will be our young people that live in Tulare and Tulare County, that now have doors open to them that maybe for many, many years were not. They'll have access to education. Again, using Vice Mayor Vega's words, you cannot put a value on education and what is coming to this town and the opportunities available. So we're very happy about that. And one last thing, my dad has always told me, and he's getting up in years, he's almost 80, and he always told me, he said, you know, when I was your age and things got tough, we could work our way out of a bad situation. He goes, today's young people are going to have to think their way out of a bad situation. So we thank this campus for that opportunity. And for Mark Waddy, who I know has been a very strong supporter of this campus while he was on the council and many, many years before. No, there will not be a fundraiser here today, Mark, but I can tell you, I have done many, many fundraisers for this campus and for COS, and we will continue to do so. And thank you to all the citizens for making this possible for the future of the city of Tulare and this county.
Okay, at this time, the only thing left to do for this part of our presentation is the ceremonial act of cutting the ribbon. So what I'd like to do now is ask staff to help us move the podium to the side, and I'd like to call back up all of our College of the Sequoias Board of Trustees to join me here in the center. I'd like to invite up all of the Tulare City Council members and City Manager who are here today. I'd like to invite up, and you can start making your way up now. I'd like to invite up members of the Tulare Joint Union High School Board of Education and Administration who are here today. I know we have representatives from NTD, our architect firm. I'd like to invite our senior management staff and deans who are here in attendance today.
On three. 1, 2, 3. that concludes our official ceremonial presentation now. Please, don't take the time to come all the way out here without at least getting a look around. We encourage you to be a part of the tours. Thank you so much for coming today.